They don't make them like they used to. And trust me, after researching these 21 incredible men, I can tell you exactly why that old saying rings so true. These weren't just actors, they were pure magic. Today we're taking you on a journey back to cinema's most glamorous era, where real men weren't afraid to be vulnerable, and charm came as naturally as breathing. These weren't just talented performers, Larry. They were the embodiment of sophistication, grace, and that indefinable something that made hearts flutter worldwide. Now let's meet these unforgettable gentlemen. James Dean, the rebel who changed everything. James Dean's impact on Hollywood happened in just 3 films, but what an impact it was. With his brooding intensity and that unmistakable vulnerability in Rebel Without a Cause, he became the voice of a generation. Dean's early years were marked by profound loss when his mother passed from cancer at age 9, leading his father to send him away to relatives in Indiana, a separation that would haunt their relationship forever. His untimely passing at just 24 only added to his mystique, making him an eternal symbol of youthful rebellion and raw emotion. Marlon Brando, the method master who rewrote the rules. When Marlon Brando burst onto the scene, he didn't just act, he revolutionized what acting could be. His raw, naturalistic style, in A Streetcar Named Desire and On the Waterfront, left audiences speechless. Brando's difficult childhood with an alcoholic, troubled father shaped his lifelong struggles with relationships and authority figures. That brooding intensity wasn't just an act. It came from somewhere real and deep. He turned vulnerability into strength and showed us that leading men could be complex, flawed, and absolutely magnetic. His later years were shadowed by family tragedies, including his son Christian's legal troubles and subsequent family losses, leading to his withdrawal from public life. Carrie Grant, the definition of sophisticated charm. If someone asked you to picture the perfect gentleman, you'd probably describe Carrie Grant without even realizing it. With his impeccable style in classics like North by Northwest and To Catch a Thief, he made sophistication look effortless. Born into devastating poverty in Bristol, Grant was told as a child that his mother had passed away when she'd actually been placed in a psychiatric facility for decades. That perfectly tailored elegance and that smile that could light up any room. It made him the gold standard for leading men. Behind his polished exterior lay deep personal struggles, and despite 5 marriages, he spent years in therapy, including experimental treatments, trying to heal from his traumatic beginning. Clark Gable, Hollywood's undisputed king. They called him the King of Hollywood, and honey, that wasn't just a nickname. It was the truth. Clark Gable's commanding presence and that legendary grin in Gone with the Wind made him irresistible to audiences everywhere. His world shattered in 1942 when his beloved wife, Carole Lombard, lost her life in a plane crash while returning from a war bond rally. Leaving Gable so devastated, he joined the Army Air Forces as a way to cope with his overwhelming grief. That rugged masculinity, paired with surprising gentleness, created a combination that was absolutely magnetic. Despite his tough persona, Gable was beloved by crew members for his kindness and his efforts to promote equality on Hollywood sets. Gregory Peck, the face of moral authority. Gregory Peck didn't just have movie star looks. He had something far more rare, unshakable integrity that you could see in every expression. His portrayal of Atticus Finch in To Kill a Mockingbird remains one of cinema's most powerful performances. His parents' separation when he was 5 led to him being raised by his grandmother, who passed when he was just 10, leaving him at a military school where he often felt abandoned. That deep voice, warm smile, and commanding presence made him the embodiment of everything noble about classic Hollywood. The role of Atticus became so identified with Peck that author Harper Lee refused later adaptations, insisting no one else could ever fill those shoes. In 1975, Peck faced an unimaginable family tragedy when his son Jonathan took his own life, a loss that haunted him for the rest of his days. Paul Newman, those legendary blue eyes. Paul Newman's striking blue eyes were just the beginning of his appeal. In films like Cool Hand Luke and Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid, he showed us a perfect blend of charisma and vulnerability that was absolutely captivating. Newman openly discussed his lifelong battles with self-doubt and the challenges of his childhood in later interviews. But here's what made him truly special. His heart was as beautiful as his face. After losing his son Scott to an overdose in 1978, Newman channeled his grief into founding the Scott Newman Foundation to help prevent similar tragedies. His Newman's own company has donated over $500 million to charity, proving that true handsomeness comes from within. James Stewart, America's beloved boy next door. Jimmy Stewart was everyone's ideal neighbor, the kind of person you'd want to have coffee with every morning. His performances in It's a Wonderful Life and Rear Window showed us that ordinary goodness could be absolutely extraordinary. Stewart's military service as a bomber pilot in World War II left him with what we now understand as PTSD, including nightmares and hearing difficulties that affected him for years. That aw shucks charm and genuine warmth made him one of Hollywood's most treasured actors. Despite his wholesome image, Stewart battled depression and found filming It's a Wonderful Life particularly challenging, as the story's themes of despair echoed his own internal struggles. His devotion to his wife Gloria and his role as stepfather revealed the authentic kindness that made him so beloved. Spencer Tracy, the master of natural acting. Spencer Tracy had this incredible gift for making you forget you were watching a performance. In films like Captain's Courageous and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, he just became the character so completely it took your breath away. Tracy's 27-year relationship with Katharine Hepburn was Hollywood's most famous open secret, complicated by his faith and unwillingness to end his marriage. That everyman appeal made him seem like someone you actually knew, not just a movie star. Despite his professional success, Tracy struggled with alcohol dependency and deep personal conflicts over his relationship choices. His dedication to his hearing-impaired son, Johnny, learning sign language and advocating for education, showed his compassionate nature away from the cameras. Montgomery Clift, the beautiful, tortured soul. Montgomery Clift brought a sensitivity to the screen that was absolutely revolutionary. His haunting performances in A Place in the Sun and From Here to Eternity showed us that masculine beauty could be fragile and profound. At age 7, Clift nearly drowned in a traumatic incident that may have contributed to his later emotional struggles. He pioneered method acting in ways that set the standard for generations to come. In 1956, a serious car accident left him with chronic pain and facial changes, leading to his dependence on pain management and alcohol. Elizabeth Taylor, his dearest friend, was first to reach him after the accident and remained devoted to him throughout his struggles. Rock Hudson, the all-American leading man. Rock Hudson had that classic tall, dark, and handsome appeal that made him perfect for romantic comedies like Pillow Talk with Doris Day. That million-dollar smile could brighten any film and any day. Behind his all-American image, Hudson lived a private life that he had to keep hidden in an era when such revelations would have ended his career, forced into arrangements by his studio. His versatility and undeniable charm made him one of the most beloved stars of his time. In 1984, Hudson became one of the first major celebrities to publicly reveal his AIDS diagnosis, using his final year to raise awareness and funds for research, breaking Hollywood's silence on the epidemic. Gary Cooper, the quintessential American hero. Gary Cooper embodied everything we think of as classically American. His understated performances in High Noon and Sergeant York showed us that real strength doesn't need to shout. Cooper's personal life included several well-publicized relationships, including one with actress Patricia Neal that created significant challenges in his marriage. That quiet confidence and natural appeal made him a symbol of understated masculinity. Despite his calm exterior, Cooper battled health issues throughout his career, eventually facing a serious illness in 1961. His relationship with Patricia Neal resulted in difficult personal decisions that affected both actors for years. Charlton Heston, the epic hero. When you needed someone to part the Red Sea or win a chariot race, you called Charlton Heston. His powerful presence in Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments was absolutely commanding. Heston's parents separated when he was 10, teaching him early lessons in resilience and independence. Those chiseled features and that resonant voice gave him a heroic quality that was perfect for epic storytelling. Despite his larger-than-life screen presence, Heston faced political controversies later in life and courageously announced his Alzheimer's diagnosis publicly in 2002. His marriage to Lydia Clark lasted 64 years until his passing, one of Hollywood's most enduring partnerships. William Holden, the rugged charmer. William Holden had this wonderful sun-kissed appeal that made him perfect for both romantic leads and complex anti-heroes. His performances in Sunset Boulevard and Stalag 17 showed incredible range and depth. Holden's success was overshadowed by his battle with alcohol dependency, which began in the 1960s and increasingly affected his relationships and career. That combination of rugged good looks and genuine talent made him a true Hollywood legend. Despite his personal struggles, Holden was passionate about wildlife conservation and spent his later years establishing animal sanctuaries in Africa. His passing in 1981 was both tragic and mysterious, discovered alone in his apartment after a drinking-related accident. Bert Lancaster, the athletic showman. Bert Lancaster brought an incredible physicality to his roles that set him apart from his contemporaries. Lancaster's early years as a circus acrobat gave him the athletic skills that would define many of his film roles, though he faced frequent injuries and demanding working conditions. His performances in From Here to Eternity and Elmer Gantry showcased both his physical presence and his surprising emotional depth. Despite his tough guy image, Lancaster was known for his progressive political views and strong support for civil rights causes. In his later years, Lancaster suffered a debilitating stroke that left him partially paralyzed, but he continued to act when possible until his passing. Tyrone Power, the dashingly handsome swashbuckler. Tyrone Power had the kind of classically handsome features that seemed almost too perfect for real life. His performances in The Mark of Zorro and Witness for the Prosecution were absolutely captivating. Born into an acting family, Power struggled with living up to his father's legacy, while battling health challenges in childhood that required moves to warmer climates. That chiseled jawline and those soulful eyes made him irresistible to both fans and critics alike. Power passed away tragically young at 44 from a heart attack while filming a dueling scene, leaving behind a pregnant wife and unfulfilled dreams of serious, dramatic roles. Henry Fonda, the moral compass of America. Henry Fonda represented the best of American values with his lanky frame and earnest demeanor. His powerful performances in The Grapes of Wrath and 12 Angry Men made him the perfect choice for roles requiring moral authority. Fonda's relationship with his children Jane and Peter was notoriously difficult, as he struggled to express emotion and was often described as distant and reserved. That quiet intensity made him Hollywood's go-to actor for characters representing justice and integrity. Despite his wholesome screen image, Fonda was married 5 times and never quite found personal peace. His son Peter once revealed that Henry never expressed love verbally until he was on his deathbed, highlighting the emotional distance that characterized his family relationships. Kirk Douglas, the distinctive dynamo. Kirk Douglas burst onto Hollywood with that famous cleft chin and an intensity that was absolutely electrifying. His performances in Champion and Spartacus showcased his incredible range and determination. Born into crushing poverty as the son of Russian Jewish immigrants, Douglas faced hunger and discrimination in his childhood, experiences that fueled his determination to succeed. That athletic build and commanding presence made him perfect for both dramatic and action roles. Douglas survived a helicopter crash in 1991 that resulted in serious injuries and changed his perspective on life. At 99, he became one of the last surviving stars of Hollywood's golden age, known for his philanthropy and his efforts to break the Hollywood blacklist by crediting Dalton Trumbo for writing Spartacus. Laurence Olivier, the Shakespearean master. Laurence Olivier brought theatrical grandeur to Hollywood with his commanding presence and refined features. Whether playing Heathcliff in Wuthering Heights or the tormented Hamlet, he was absolutely mesmerizing. Olivier's tumultuous 20-year marriage to Vivien Leigh was marked by her struggles with mental health challenges and his own battles with depression. His dramatic talent and striking looks captivated audiences worldwide, representing the height of elegance and sophistication. Despite his commanding stage presence, Olivier suffered from severe stage fright throughout his career, often requiring medication to perform. His devotion to Vivien Leigh during her health crises showed a tender side that contrasted with his sometimes difficult professional reputation. Robert Taylor, the picture-perfect profile. Robert Taylor was known as the person with the perfect profile. And honestly, it's hard to argue with that assessment. Taylor's childhood was marked by financial struggles, and he learned the value of hard work early, taking on odd jobs by age 12. His classic good looks paired with a smooth voice, made him a favorite in timeless films like Camille and Waterloo Bridge. Taylor's charm and adaptability kept him in high demand throughout Hollywood's golden years. His marriage to Barbara Stanwyck ended in separation, and he found true happiness later in life with his second wife, German actress Ursula Thies. A heavy smoker throughout his life, Taylor passed from lung cancer at just 57, leaving behind a legacy of professionalism and kindness to his fellow actors. Errol Flynn, Hollywood's original bad boy. Errol Flynn was Hollywood's first true bad boy, and he wore that title with pride. His swashbuckling roles in films like The Adventures of Robin Hood made him the perfect romantic adventure hero. That robust physique, cheeky grin, and adventurous spirit made him irresistible in countless adventure tales. Despite his reputation for wild behavior, Flynn was known for his generosity, often paying medical bills for struggling actors and supporting refugee causes during World War II. Dana Andrews, the underrated intensity. Dana Andrews brought a quiet intensity to film noir classics like Laura and The Best Years of Our Lives, making him one of the most underrated actors of his generation. Andrews battled severe alcohol dependency that damaged his career in the 1950s and 1960s, leading to legal troubles and lost opportunities. His handsome features and understated acting style made him perfect for playing complex, morally ambiguous characters. Despite his personal struggles, Andrews eventually overcame his challenges and spent his later years speaking openly about recovery and helping others. His portrayal of a returning World War II veteran in The Best Years of Our Lives resonated with audiences because it reflected his own understanding of post-war challenges and adjustment. As we come to the end of our journey through Hollywood's golden era, it's impossible not to feel a sense of nostalgia for what we've lost. These 21 remarkable men weren't just actors. They were craftsmen who understood that true star power comes from authenticity, vulnerability, and an unwavering commitment to their art. What made them so special wasn't just their undeniable good looks, though they certainly had those in abundance. It was their ability to make us believe, to make us feel, and to transport us to worlds where anything seemed possible. They faced their personal struggles with a dignity that's rare in today's world, often carrying burdens that would have broken lesser people. These gentlemen remind us that real masculinity isn't about being perfect. It's about being human. They showed us that vulnerability is strength, that kindness is attractive, and that true charisma comes from the heart. Their films may be decades old, but the emotions they captured are timeless. In our modern world of social media and instant fame, there's something profoundly comforting about these stars who earned their place through talent, perseverance, and that indefinable quality we call star power. They may be gone, but their legacy continues to inspire new generations of performers and remind us all of what truly great storytelling looks like. So the next time you're feeling overwhelmed by today's fast-paced world, why not curl up with a classic film featuring one of these incredible gentlemen? I guarantee you'll be reminded of a time when movies were about more than special effects. They were about the magic that happens when truly gifted people pour their hearts into their craft. Want to discover more hidden gems and untold stories from Hollywood's golden age? Subscribe now and join our community of classic film lovers. Trust me, you won't want to miss what we're sharing next.